So one of the brand new things with this week's event is I guess not even new, but the continuation of something that we previously had in the treasure train with the release of one of the newer Transcendence heroes that came out, the Basilisk, the Iron Core Mecha Basilisk. This was a way to modify the hero's abilities, which almost felt like they just left some off of their regular abilities and made you also double dip into this. But this was something that did come around. Now, I don't understand the naming scheme exactly because this one's called Weaponry of Valor 6, which I guess maybe it's depending on when the hero comes out, but you'll notice if you come in the treasure train, you have two new things here. We're going to be opening some additional chests and stuff. I already did some of this event myself to get a hang of it, but you see they have like numbers on it. So this one's Weaponry of Valor 1. This one is 5. This one was 6, but it's just got like a star icon on it. But essentially, these are going to be the treasures for specific heroes. One of them being Fairy Queen Vesa in Valor 1, and in Valor 5 is going to be Sun Wukong. So today we're going to be opening up some chests, mainly for our Sun Wukong, because that is where our power is on our account. You can see there are some additional things to this as well, increasing your X levels further in each one of these categories. So both of them do seem like they are going to matter here, so just keep that in mind. They're each in their own category though, which means getting to the certain point levels is a little bit more difficult, and even if you're not going to use Vesa, you might want to invest in it to get higher X upgrades. It's kind of weird how this works out, but it is what it is. So what does it do for our main monkey man, Great Sage Sun Wukong? Well, let's talk about these real quickly. Essentially, when releasing active skills, if Self is under Immortal Soul status, increases Self's control immunity for 3 rounds, and if Self has Universe Imitation status, increases Self damage dealt by 8%. If Self has both of them, you additionally deal Divine Retribution AoE damage, which is basically unmitigable damage, essentially. So that's interesting with an active skill. I kind of like that, going off of his 2 different abilities he kind of has here. The second one here, when the basic attack hits a target, inflicts damage that again is Divine Retribution damage on the target with Fragile, and reduces their all damage dealt by 6 and control immunity. So it makes it easier for Sun Wukong to land that CC, and also makes the survivability of your team better by lowering that damage output. The next one's a mouthful. So the Beast Patterned Chestplate. This one's interesting. When entering Immortal Soul status, there is a 100% chance to deal damage to enemies whose HP is higher than 50% by 6% of their max HP, capping at 1500% of his attack, and reduce their damage reduction by 5.5% for 2 rounds. Interesting. Some more damage reduction mitigation that they're adding in a lot of different ways lately. This is another way. When entering Universe Imitation status, there's a 100% chance to deal damage to enemies whose HP is lower than 50% as well, and reduce their speed. So pretty interesting how that's working out as well. It gets even more of a dictionary. Understanding all these characters' abilities is just getting insane nowadays. But when Self does have Immortal Soul, for every 3 counterattacks launched, there's a 50% chance to inflict Petrify on 2 random enemies. I think this treasure right here might be one of the most impactful, because we all know, at least on a lot of our accounts, he's our controller. He's kind of like a Therapist Blood Betty that can also do some damage as well. Having an additional 50% chance to inflict it, and I think when you go all the way to the top, it's up to 80%, which is pretty insane. On 2 random enemies, that's pretty powerful. Especially if you're running him with like the Dragon Rui or something, it can get pretty nutty. If he doesn't stun, this might happen. When Self is under Universe Imitation status, for every 3 chase and attacks launched, there's a 60% chance to inflict Immortal Binding Rope on 2 enemies with the lowest HP. So essentially what that ability is going to do is, when the owner takes a control effect, they'll take 800% of the inflictor's attack damage, and their energy is reduced by 20. Once triggered, it will disappear. You can't have stacks of this or anything, but that is actually pretty cool synergy with CC type effects, especially on our account with like a Vulcan or something. That could be pretty impactful. Now beyond that, there are some additional exclusive stats. You can see most of these are the abilities. When you do get down to the red tier, it's just going to give him more percentage stats. We got HP, we got attack, and that is it. So you can see how the weaponry is going to work out. What I have is a few of those chests here, and it's getting a little tricky because you'll notice there are different weaponry chests here. And it's basically for like the pink treasure for each one of them. This is just for something else that I had here. So you got this one, the pink one that has basically everything in it. You have this one, which is specifically the number 3 slot. This one is the number 2 slot. And this is the number 1 slot for all of the existing heroes that have this weaponry of valor system in it. So pretty interesting. Now this one again is the same thing. They have the number 1 and number 2 for the red treasures too. So focusing on which hero you're using on is positive, because when other heroes come out in the future, you can still just go ahead and invest in like, okay, I still want to max out my Sun Wukong. I'm going to get all these Sun Wukong items, which honestly is a pretty good strategy if that's what they're going to go with as the new power system. So I think here's what my plan is. Since of course we have this one hero that we always use, what we're going to do is we're just going to invest everything, nope, not that one, everything into the Sun Wukong to see what type of stats you can actually get in this week's event. So we're literally just going to go ahead and grab all of these. There's like no way that's too many treasures. Like, we're a 2-star. I don't think you're going to be able to 5-star a hero right out of the gate anyway. So it's going to be something that you have to invest in over quite a long period of time. So we're just going to go straight up for this hero and see what type of stats we are gaining here. And I'm also intrigued to see, let's look at our Sun Wukong's baseline stats here and take a little mental image. We're at about almost 200 million attack. We're just 199.3. 199.3 is not a bad spot to be at right there. So let's see what happens when we go into the treasure train and do these types of upgrades now, because we can just simply do this right here. Upgrade, thank you. Most of them go to 3-star, it looks like, and let's go specifically to his. And yeah, it looks like it perfectly puts you at 2,500 points. So we're getting 5 additional X levels with those chests. So choosing one or the other is important. They do get up to 3-star, which is interesting because honestly, the one that I really liked was this one right here, right? It's up to a 60% chance. So it goes 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. That's not too bad. Of course, we're getting flat stats for our account, but we're also getting percentage stats. So it only gave us like 500,000 attack on it. But what it did do is it's now upgrading our X level ceiling as well. Oh my gosh, I don't even have an artifact on him right now. Hopefully I did not throw him into my Aspen dungeon just yet. But yeah, this does add some more things to the way that his abilities work beyond the sublimations, the destiny transition, and all that fun stuff. Yeah, that's a ton of new power system. What I'm intrigued to do is I'm going to try to jump on someone's account and test out the Vesta changes. As far as Sun Wukong goes, it just makes him better. He was already really good. I don't necessarily think we need that to happen, but what I want to see happen is some of these older heroes get additional weaponry of valor. It seems like maybe every time they do this, they're going to have a newer within the past couple years hero come out, as well as an old one. And if they continue to do the OG heroes, like, man, like Queen doesn't really need it as of now. I mean, hitting someone like Jara next maybe would be insane. I just hope, fingers crossed, they don't touch like Lord of Fear Aspen, Doom Terminator Vulcan, some of the newer really powerful heroes that have come out that can do some stuff. I hope they focus on the heroes that are weak to maybe make people want to build them. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. We've got a crazy amount of Transcendence heroes in the game right now. Look at this, 4 rows of heroes. Absolutely insane. That's what, 32 Transcendence heroes, and more to come this month at Christmas. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I'll see you guys next time.